and welcome to this quick review of the Minimal Audio's Current 2 synthesizer that just came out today. We're going to be listening to its patches to give you an overview of what this synth sounds like, what's cool about it. If you want to check this out, head on over to their site. The guys reached out to me to see if I wanted to be involved in its launch, and I'm really happy to support them. So yeah, let's have a listen and a look what this synth sounds like. But actually, it's also interesting to get an idea of what it looks like. And check this out. This is what you're greeted with when you go into the interface for the first time. And honestly, like, what a cool, different looking concept for a synthesizer surface where actually it is functional. So this stuff affects sound. And I love that it just caters to people that are maybe just starting out and looking for, you know, inspiring sounds to get going with. And there's some things about this synth that I think are super unique and very, very interesting. And yeah, this user interface, when you get started with the sound, is one of them. The quality of the sounds that come with it and the amount of presets, it's really awesome, and honestly also a little bit overwhelming because there's just so many good sounds to pick from. Let me show you what I was able to make with this, like literally within 5 minutes of opening it and just looking for some presets on it. So I'm going to open up 3 instances of this and show you what they sound like when you play them together. So yeah, as you've quickly seen now, when I opened up, let's say like the more advanced, or I guess the more detailed interface, there's a lot of stuff under the hood of this. So let's just start out by sharing with you, I'm not going to go through the whole synth and like the millions of things that you can do with it, because I'm sure there's people on YouTube that are going to be doing that in a lot of detail, and I'm not the kind of patient guy that has, that can do that. But what I can show you is what I think is unique about this and where it really has its strengths for creating your music and for getting to great results fast, as I think I was able to show you. Like, for example, this little vocal hook that's going on here in the granular engine. Actually, you can tweak it as much as you want and do all kinds of super cool stuff with it and make it your own and use it for a track. So that's always the thing when synths like this are fresh. I think everyone's always scrambling to get them quickly so that you can grab the most cool hooks and things that it has in there and use them in original tracks before anyone else does. So the synth is obviously massively powerful. You know, everything that you're looking for sound design is there. You know, you have wavetables, you have granular synthesis, you have more normal kind of, you know, subtractive synthesis. You have a ton of effects and also like super interesting stuff with these morphing delays that you can actually set curves on and cause them to then automate and move around the spectrum, which gets really cool stuff. I mean, let me do this properly and give you an impression of what that sounds like. So you have to go to the edge when that says plus, then you can drag it. I'm going to do the same here. This is something also that I caught that I just thought was so cool, and somehow, like, I sometimes do this by hand and automate stuff, but like it was so cool the way it's done here. Have a listen to what this does. What do I really like about this? What do I think is very cool about this? First off, the way that the user interface is laid out and the way that it has such a low hurdle to come into this and start using it to make music, I think is fantastic. And we need a lot more of this, like super complicated, ultra nerdy plugins with a million things that you can do. Is like, you know, if you're super pro, you know exactly what you're doing, then that's totally useful. But, you know, many people out there are kind of new coming to music, and anything that enables them to get good results quick is super welcome. And yeah, like the way that you come in here, the way you can go look for a specific pad. What's super clever here also is, check this out, they've done like a wave file, I guess, an audio file, giving you a demo of each pad, or, you know, every sound. So you can pre-listen to these sounds without having to load the whole patch. And that's just like a really smart little detail that they've done really well. I love the artwork that they've done on this to make this such a visual experience. Like, that's fantastic. And I'm so happy when I see companies that take these kinds of risks and do stuff that's a bit different from just trying to somehow put a synthesizer interface onto a screen. I think one missed chance is these things should be, how do you call this? Should be gravity sensitive, meaning I think it would be super cool if you could throw these and they would just start bouncing around this screen, and maybe there's a control where you could increase for how long they keep bouncing around. Like, that kind of stuff would be just like really fun to mess around with. And I love that kind of chaotic random stuff. So like, yeah, if these could be things that you could throw with gravity and affect how long they will bounce around the screen and morph the sound, that could be really cool. Maybe something for an update one day. Yeah, so coming into it, you know, having this control over the parts that are playing in this. So this is the voice of this sound, and then these are like some underlaying sounds. Very cool. And then, yeah, you have the whole engine if you want to go in depth and fully nerd out on it. But if you want to just start and look for stuff and maybe lock stuff to a scale so that everything kind of fits together, that's all possible here. You get a ton of potential packs and things. I do have to say, I feel like a lot of the sounds here are geared sort of towards like bass heavy music. For example, I didn't find a lot of stuff that I felt was like, you know, if I looked into the vintage kind of synth stuff, it didn't sound like what I would normally expect, typical kind of, you know, Prophet brass or whatever, Juno basses. It's all a bit more advanced. Very cool stuff. But it's not like your average, you know, whatever, 101 arpeggio or something that you're going to find in this. So who do I see this for? Who do I think that this is really useful for? I think this is a fantastic synth for people that are quite new maybe to music and are looking for something where they can get really good quality, interesting sounds that are sometimes consisting of multiple layers, and just put them together and start, you know, getting a feeling for what it's like to make music on a computer. But then if they do want to go fully in depth later on and they want to, you know, dive deep and nerd out, it's all there for them, but they don't have to deal with all that stuff right from the get-go. I think for someone like me that has a studio full of, like, you know, analog classic synthesizers that do the punchy bass lines and the, you know, super warm pads and stuff really well, it's a fantastic extension to that, because the sounds in here are kind of more advanced and kind of more like, how to say, complex, and they have many layers, and there's a lot of really great programming that's been done here by the sound designers. So as an addition to someone that already has sort of, you know, their classic synths and sort of analog stuff covered, this is a really cool synthesizer to go for. So this gets a resounding thumbs up for me. I think it's a really cool concept. I love it when people take risks like this. And yeah, check it out. It's available as of today. And I'm going to play some presets for you now so you can get a feeling for what this sounds like. And if it's something that is maybe for you. All right, that will be it for me today. I'm gonna load this now, or put the MIDI channel on, so we can just jump through some presets, or just use their built-in preset audition function, which is super smart. So you can get a feeling, yeah, for how this sounds. let's try some of these basses also. That's a very well produced bass. Let's see what they've done here. I mean, that sounds really cool. What do they have here? Compressor, distortion, a cluster delay, and a morph EQ, chorus. Sounds really good. Let's go back to some more pieces. Let me look for some of the ones that I've saved that I liked in here. This sounds really nice. Really interesting, weird, broken piano. Very cool. A good example where you can hear that there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. There's like a noise in the bottom here, this sampler, which I shut off for that little demo at the beginning. This is the vocal part, which you can totally morph in the grain sampler, and then there's these sort of accompanying elements. So yeah, really, really interesting, really cool stuff that they've done there. Let's have a listen. What's this? This is a little bit loud. Let me just take this down. Super cool, very weird, cool sound. Something I saw in here, which I think is probably going to interest a lot of people. Let me show that to you quickly. There's some kind of an 808 type sample kit in here somewhere. Whoever is doing sound design for these guys, they know what they're doing. These are really good, well-produced kicks with some interesting kind of unexpected aspects. So yeah, I hope this gives you a first overview of this, and yeah, you know, what it's like working with this. As you can see, there is a ton of sounds that you can get with this, kind of going in all kinds of directions. Don't expect that you're going to find bread and butter kind of typical, I don't know, analog synth stuff in here. To my knowledge, from what I've dug around, it's all a bit more advanced, a bit more complex. I may be wrong, correct me in the comments, as I'm sure you'll do. But if you're looking for like kind of advanced, weird, cool combined sounds with a lot of character, very good production already or pre-production on them, and like, yes, super cool and inspiring, fun interface, I think this is a really interesting synthesizer to check out. So yes, that's it for me today. I hope that this video has been useful to you. Follow and subscribe and all that good stuff, and I'll see you on the next video. Take it easy. Bye-bye.